Let's take a look at some geometry lessons, specifically in triangles and how to find those missing angles. So if your students have been struggling with geometry, some of this stuff just doesn't make sense, let's do a quick lesson together in less than 5 or 6 minutes. You will be well on your way to totally understanding triangles. All right, so let's go down to my desk and talk about it. So the first thing about a triangle that we need to know is that all angles add or sum to 180 degrees. So angles are measured in degrees, and we use this thing called a protractor to measure those angles. Okay, so suppose I've got two angles here. How do I know what that third one is? Okay, well, it's really similar to if I were to ask you, for example, if you had a candy bar and that candy bar was 10 inches long. Okay, and I were to say, okay, I ate 6 inches, how much is left? And, you know, and I went, right here. Okay, 6 inches is gone. It's in my stomach. Okay, for you, how much is left? I left you 10 minus 6, which is 4, right? That makes sense. Okay, so same thing with an angle. So if I know 2 of them, but I don't know that third one, because they all add to 180, I can simply say 180 degrees minus 80 minus 50 will give me the missing angle, right? Because this was the whole thing, and then I'm taking off a little bit of the 2 chunks over here to figure out that third one. So 180 minus 80, that's 100, minus 50, so that's 50. So this angle is 50 degrees. Okay, let's try another one. Suppose we have a triangle that looks like this. And it has a funny symbol here, and this one says 30 degrees. What do we do there? So this thing is called a right triangle because it has one right angle. Right angle is 90 degrees. So this is a right triangle. So if you were to take your protractor and align the bottom with the bottom, put the little hole here right on that intersection of the 2 lines you want to measure, and it goes right up to the 90. So it's 90 degrees. Okay. They still sum, all 3 of them, to 180. So we have 180 degrees minus, this is the 90. Okay, that's a symbol. Often people won't write 90. They'll just put this little half square thing in. Okay, just know that that means 90. Minus 30. Okay, and if you do your subtraction, you'll find you have one that should be 60 degrees. All right, great. Let's try another one. Suppose I have a triangle like this, and I say these are both the same angle, and I only give you this one is 30 degrees. How are you going to figure that out? Okay, well, they still sum to 180, right? So 180 degrees minus 30, what does that give you? That gives me 150. That has to equal these 2 angles added together. But since they're the same amount, this is x and this is x, so x plus x, this is 2x. So 150 is equal to 2 times x, divide both sides by 2. And then what do we have? X is equal to 75 degrees. So each angle is 75 degrees. And 75 and 75 make 150, plus 30 makes 180. Now, by the way, if you'd like to learn more about how to do this math thing and have your kids learn math the easy way, I'm actually giving a whole class just on it for free. You can click the link in the description or the comments to register, or simply go to getmath.net/learn. Okay, let's continue with a few more examples so this really makes sense. So if I tell you a set of angles, could you tell me if this was a triangle that is possible? 30, 30, 30? Yeah, this one would be impossible, right? Because they don't sum to 180. What about this one? 120, 30, and 30. Yep, that would make a triangle. Okay, what about this one? 60, 60, and 60. So this would make a triangle. This is an equilateral triangle, right? All the angles are the same. How about this one? How about an 80 degree, 40 degree, and a 40 degree? What do you think about that one? Does that make a triangle? So 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 160. So this sums to 160. So no, not that one either. Okay, let's try a few more examples where you have to solve for the angle. Suppose I have a triangle that looks like this. You have a scalene obtuse triangle. Obtuse simply means that one of the angles inside is larger than 90 degrees. This one's 121 degrees. This one is, I don't know. This one is 39.8. Okay, so how do we find it? Well, I have 180 degrees minus the 121 minus the 39.8. Okay, and after you do all of your math, you've got we have 19.2 degrees, which is this angle right there. Okay, let's try another one with an unknown variable in it. Suppose I have a triangle not drawn to scale, and this side is 3x, this side is 2x minus 4. This side is 59 degrees. Okay, so it's like a puzzle. So what do I know? Well, I don't know these two, but I know this one. And I know they all have to add to make 180. So let's write that down. So I'm going to write 180 degrees equals, I'm going to write an equation. This angle, that angle, and that. Okay, so I just made myself a math equation. I have one equation and one unknown, so I should be able to solve it for a result. Okay, so this 3x and 2x I can combine because they're both the same. They both have an x in it. Okay, so 3 plus 2 is 5x. And this 59 minus 4 is going to be 55. Okay, equals 180. So now I have a two-step equation to solve. I am going to subtract 55 from both sides. Okay, and then 55 minus 55 goes away. So I am left with, I have 180 minus 55. I have 125 equals 5x. I'm going to divide both sides by whatever's in front of the x. And my x is going to be equal to 25 degrees. Now, is that the answer? Are these both 25 degrees? Mm-mm. It just says the unknown x is 25. So in this case, this angle here, 3 times 25 is 75. So this one is 75 degrees. This one is 2x, which is 50, minus 4. So what's that going to be? That's going to be a 46 degrees. And just as a final check, because these numbers are a little different, I'm going to say 46 plus 59 plus 75, and I can just do a quick mental check and say, oh, you know what? That equals 180 degrees. So there you have it, solving for unknown angles in a triangle. Now, if you'd like more learning like this for your kids, where they learn math in a simple, easy, logical way so it makes sense to them, I invite you to join me for a free entire class on math. You can join me at getmath.net/learn. The link is also in the description as well as the comments, and it's free. You can register at no charge, and I will see you in class.